everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and I was asked on a comment in one of my videos last week about what my top 5 favorite cinematic universes are. So I figured I'd answer that with a video, not a comment. So we're gonna get right into it with me describing what I consider cinematic universes. And then we'll count them down, talk about the movies I like, if I haven't seen certain ones in that, and stuff like that, and movies that I don't like in it, possibly. But yeah, so let's start with what I consider a cinematic universe. So to me, a cinematic universe qualifies when the franchise itself has movies with other titles in it. So for example, like the MCU isn't just Iron Man 1 through 27. We have Iron Man, we have Hulk, we have Avengers, stuff like that. Another thing that qualifies for it would have to be that it would be on the big screen and on the small screen too. Now, not everything has to have that. However, I do feel like a lot of cinematic universes are moving into that direction. And also because 2 that are on this would only qualify that way with that list. And then the other one is it has to be more than a trilogy. So it has to have more than 3 movies. Although none of the franchises on this list would qualify under, or would not qualify under this one. I will also give the caveat that if there's a 4th movie in production, then that's fine, or a TV show or something like that. Looking at you, John Wick, even though that's not on this list. But still. So yeah, let's get into it with number 5. Number 5 is the Conjuring universe. Now, this is number 5 because there are a lot of hit or misses in this franchise. We have the 3 main Conjuring movies, we have the 3 Annabelle movies, and we have The Nun, and there are other ones. Oh, Curse of La Llorona, I try to forget that movie, and also the future movies coming out, which they've been saying for years that they're supposed to be coming out, and they're taking forever. But I consider this one number 5, basically because it kind of holds like a special thing in my head of me reviewing the entire franchise to you guys on YouTube. There's videos on my channel of that. But yeah, I mean, the sad thing is this series started really, really strong and then kind of fell. Conjuring 2 is my favorite in the franchise. Mainly for the fact that that's the first one that I saw in theaters, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a good time seeing it and everything like that. My least favorite is actually probably The Nun. I just remember being so disappointed in that movie and seeing it in theaters and like almost falling asleep. I was so disappointed. Number 4 would be the Harry Potter cinematic universe. Now, 7 years ago, this wouldn't have qualified because it would have just been a singular franchise of the Harry Potter series. But now with the Fantastic Beasts movies, it's considered a cinematic universe. So you got the first 8 Harry Potter films based off the first 7 books. And then you got 3 of the 5 Fantastic Beasts movies. And who's to say that after Fantastic Beasts, we won't be getting any other series? Because it's called the Wizarding World, so it's not just going to be Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter. We'll probably get some future movies of like the Founders or stuff like that. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the Harry Potter series, the Fantastic Beasts portion. I really liked the first movie. Second movie, I have mixed feelings on, and the third movie, I'm still confused about till this day. So my favorite of the entire Harry Potter Wizarding World movie would have to be, surprisingly, Order of the Phoenix. I know that's a lot of people's least favorite, but that is one of my favorite Harry Potter movies. And my least favorite is a tie between the Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore and Prisoner of Azkaban, which, interestingly enough, Prisoner of Azkaban introduces two of my favorite characters, yet it is my least liked Harry Potter film because it does feel kind of a little disconnected to the rest of the story. Because first book deals with Voldemort, second book deals with the past of Voldemort, third movie book does deal with Voldemort's followers, but it's like kind of feels like the extra villains that you have to deal with. Then 4 through 8 or 4 through 7 deal with Voldemort. So yeah, it just feels a little disconnected compared to the rest of the series. So that's why Prisoner of Azkaban is probably my least favorite Harry Potter movie. But my least favorite Wizarding World probably would be Secrets of Dumbledore, just because of how confused I was through the entire movie. I do have a review up of that if you want to check it out as well. Number 3, this is where we get into the meat. These 3 franchises I ride or die on. Number 3 is the Jurassic Park franchise or movie universe. So this does qualify considering that there is a name change from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World after the 3rd movie, and we also have Camp Cretaceous. So that helps it out as well. So you have Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion, and then you also have Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Camp Cretaceous is a great show. It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, go ahead. It starts out kind of like a kid's show, kind of like how Rebels does for Star Wars, and then it gets like really serious, and it's a really good series. It gets a little wacky, but I'm fine with it. We get to see the return of the Spino. So my least favorite movie in the franchise would probably be Fallen Kingdom. It just feels weird on the pacing and how much time they spend on the island versus how much time they spend in the mansion. And it's like, it kind of is a long movie, but at the same time it's not, because with being in only 2 places, it really rushes you through, which is very weird to me. But my favorite has to be Jurassic World. I just remember being so hyped for that movie and going in and seeing it and loving it. So that's why that one is on there. So number 2 and number 1 are in no particular order. They switch back and forth constantly. I'm going to put number 2 as number 2 for now, but tomorrow it could be number 1. Thursday it could be number 1, and so on and so forth. But number 2 is the MCU. The MCU it's like the go-to cinematic universe. There was cinematic universes that existed beforehand, but whenever somebody thinks of cinematic universe, they think of the MCU, because the MCU has done it perfectly, mostly up until Phase 3. Phase 4 has been a little sketchy, in my opinion. Although my favorite movie is a Phase 4 movie, my least favorite movie is also a Phase 4 movie. Started back in 2008 and still going, pumping out movies every year. We got the Iron Man franchise. I'm looking over here because I have it sitting here. The Iron Man franchise, a Hulk movie, the Thor franchise, the Captain America franchise, the Avengers franchise, the Guardians franchise, the Ant-Man franchise, the Doctor Strange franchise, the Black Panther franchise, a Spider-Man franchise, the Captain Marvel franchise, Shang-Chi movie, Black Widow movie, Eternals movie, and tons of TV shows as well. And now a special with the Werewolf by Night story. So yeah, there's so much in the MCU. It does kind of get overwhelming and hard to start if you haven't started yet, but it's still something that is a major staple for me. My favorite has to be Spider-Man No Way Home, just because of how much it brought back nostalgia and memories and everything, and how much I love the story and stuff like that. And then my least favorite would have to be the Eternals. I feel like the Eternals was a movie made for the MCU, but not fit into it very well, I guess is the best way to say it. But yeah, so that's how I feel about the MCU, which is number 2. And number 1, if you know me, it's not that big of a shock. It's the Star Wars Cinematic Universe. Now, this would not qualify if Disney never bought out Star Wars. I mean, we would technically have Clone Wars and the Clone Wars movie and the other Clone Wars, but technically it was very limited up until Disney came out. Movie-wise, we have episodes 1 through 9. We also have Rogue One and Solo, with others on development along the way. We also have TV shows. We have animated TV shows. We have live action. We have the aforementioned Clone Wars. We have Rebels. We have Resistance. We have Bad Batch. We have Tales of the Jedi, which is just around the corner. We have like Lego series that semi-tie-in. We have The Mandalorian. We have Book of Boba Fett. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor. We have a bunch of other TV shows in development along the way. We have video games that tie into it too. This is a very multi-platform series, and books and comics. I mean, everything in Star Wars now ties together since 2014, which is amazing. It has more lore than the MCU with a fraction of the movies, just for the fact of the books and the TV shows and everything. And why Star Wars is number 1 for me, but could sometimes move to number 2. The reason why it would sometimes move to number 2 would be quantity. It has been very slow getting new Star Wars content up until this year, basically, or last year. But now it's starting to get back on pace. And I've loved Star Wars since I was 3 years old. So I have a lot of history with it. Now, my favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back. Classic movie, great story, great characters, everything like that. It's a more darker take from the previous movie. My least favorite is Rise of Skywalker. I don't hate it for a lot of reasons that other people do. I mean, yes and no at the same time. So I do hate the Rey Skywalker thing, but not for the reason that people are arguing. I feel that it was against her character to become a Skywalker. It should have been just, at the end, it should have been just Rey. It kind of destroyed her character arc. The fact that they changed Poe's backstory and the fact that they have a crappy reason for Palpatine coming back, they could have explained it better. I mean, somebody on the other side saying somehow Palpatine returned is fine, but they should have had a line of dialogue where Kylo Ren goes, "I don't understand, why are you back?" And then he actually explains it instead of saying a callback line and is like, "Sith alchemy, I brought myself back," sort of thing. But yeah, so that is the top 5 favorite cinematic universes. What are some of your guys's? Put it down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you, have an amazing day.